Hey, this is the C&D channel. I'm Chris, this is Dave, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for Bellator 66, which is going to happen on April 20th on MTV2. Awesome fights here. Super fight with Shinya Aoki versus Eddie Alvarez. I think it's a super fight anyways.
I agree with you, though. I agree with you.
We got two lightweight tournament semifinals, and we got two middleweight tourney finals as well. So this is just going to be an awesome card. Got anything to say? Any thoughts, man?
I just amazed with the call of Bellator is joining at us. I think, it definitely showing that they have a solid call, solid fights, and they want people to really pay attention to them. And I think they got my attention.
Cool, man. Let's get started.
Let's rock and roll.
We got Shinya Aoki versus Eddie Alvarez.
Aoki.
I got Alvarez, man.
This is a tough fight. It can go either way. Let's hear your opinion.
Okay, one thing about Alvarez, he is coming off the loss to Michael Chandler. One thing about Alvarez is he does have defensive holes in his stand-up. Thankfully, Aoki isn't much of a stand-up guy. He's not probably not going to expose that. But it doesn't really matter because we know what Aoki is going to do, where he wants to take the fight.
Absolutely. Aoki, on the other hand, BJJ black belt, very dangerous. Okay, he was dangerous on the, on top or on the ground. You don't want to mess with it. Yes, you're right. We don't want to go, near you if I cannot take you down. But if I take you down, I think Aoki has a great chance to.
He's well known for pulling guard and even doing a crab walk towards his opponents to tempt his opponent to take the fight to the ground.
And then you guys will come with it, right? Because you have a good BJJ, you want to come, feel free. But don't forget, Aoki have a judo background. Okay, it's it's pretty strong, dude. So what you got?
Okay. One thing I like about Alvarez, Aoki is coming off a really good win streak, actually. However, I felt that Alvarez, after they first fought, because Alvarez lost by leg lock to him in the first round, I felt that he was a much improved fighter. His boxing is solid. He uses body punches as well. I think he'll be smart about it. He does have strong wrestling. I don't know if he's going to take the fight to the ground against a guy like Aoki. I can see him keeping the fight standing and using his superior movement and boxing to win this fight. If the fight does hit the ground, yes, he might be in trouble, but he's not. And yeah, I guess Aoki does make. He's one of those a black belt's black belt. Hopefully, Alvarez, especially with the cage too. If you replicate the Gilbert Melendez strategy, hey, if you want to pull rubber guard, okay. Just push him along the cage so rubber guard becomes useless. You don't have the ring anymore. You got the cage. It's a different animal, and it definitely helps Alvarez even if he's in a bad position. And it helps Aoki if he puts Alvarez in a bad position as well, though.
Absolutely. You have a really good point. I mean, using a cage to, for the rubber guard, to escape the rubber guard, that's very smart, and that's why I'm afraid of. I mean, definitely, if we stay out, Aoki might not have, much to do, but definitely if Aoki can take the fight on the ground, we're looking at some very dangerous, submission possibility.
Yeah, Aoki has those really long limbs, and he's just creative on the ground. Master of the scramble. This guy finishes guys. If he can't sink in the rear naked choke, he'll do a neck crank and finish you. I mean, he uses go-go platas successfully. It's insane that he can do that.
That's a high level BJJ right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such enjoyment to watch him perform. So, for my guts, I go with Aoki.
I go with Alvarez. I think he'll emulate the Gilbert Melendez strategy to beat Aoki.
We will see.
Okay. Next fight after that, we got Hawn versus Lloyd Woodard.
Rick Hawn, Olympic level judo. The guy has a power, man. And really crisp on boxing. I mean, what do you need? What else do you want?
If you haven't seen the Lloyd Woodard versus Patricky Pitbull Ferre fight, watch it now. I'm not picking Woodard here. I am going to pick Rick Hawn, and I think he's the favorite to win this whole thing. I also think if he does win it, that he can beat Michael Chandler.
Wow.
However, you cannot count out Lloyd Woodard. I picked Patricky to beat him. Lloyd Woodard pulled a Frank Mir Nogueira number 2, and Kimura his arm off his body, pretty much.
Man.
He brawls, but and he has some power. He pushes forward. Defensive holds and stand up, but he does have a good chin. And then obviously an underrated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game. Woodard is a guy that's always in the fight. However, Rick Hawn has been a competitor his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
When you're Olympic level, I mean, that's it. You've been competing your whole life.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
At the highest levels, too.
Yeah.
He has power. He TKO'd Ricardo Torloni, who is a prospect I was very high on heading into this lightweight tournament. And he TKO'd him in the first round. He would actually ground and pound him to the point where it'd wake him up and put him back to sleep. Okay, the guy just started MMA very recently under Delagrati. His boxing has come along beautifully. The guy throws a great 1-2, got some power, always pushing forward as well. I like what I see from Rick Hawn. The guy is in the correct weight class now with his judo as well. I can't see anyone really taking him to the ground that easily.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go with Rick Hawn to win this and the whole tournament and the title. I mean, it's pretty bold, but honestly, I'm that high on Rick Hawn right now.
I mean, again, where do you find a Olympic level wrestler that can also draw a punch like that? Do boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely Rick is the one tough fighter right here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, you want to talk about tough fighters? Lloyd Woodard, toughest guy, one of the toughest guys out there, man. You can't count him out. A guy you just don't want to count out, man.
Mm-hmm.
So he can definitely give. He's never out of the fight.
It's gonna be a great fight. Grab your popcorn, watch this fight.
Okay, next fight after that, Thiago Michel fights Brent Weedman.
I'm gonna go for Brent Weedman because of good kickboxing. I mean, he has a tendency to brawl, which is not so good. But you know what? He has a good ground game. You gotta give that to him. He submitted
JJ Ambrose.
Yeah, come on, dude. What's the crazy choke? What do we call
that?
that?
Von Flu choke.
Man, have you seen that? If you don't check it out, it's pretty amazing. That guy's so creative with his submission. You gotta pay attention to the guy. I of course really bad defense. Defensive standout. Really worry about that. But if he can really use his submission, good kickboxing, there's tendency for him to win.
This is a good matchup. I got Thiago winning this one. You got a world kickboxing champion here. That's the thing. Who has great defense on the feet. I think that Brent Weedman, you saw it in the Lozano fight, for example. He really does have a tendency to brawl and leave himself open. His defense isn't that great. And Thiago Michel is a sniper in the stand-up. His ground game is improving. He went up against Nasri. I think he got taken down. Nasri didn't do much about it, though. In other fights, I saw Thiago getting better at getting back to his feet when he is taken down, and just showing an overall improved ground game as well. I gotta go Thiago Michel in here, but this is a very interesting fight.
I still go for Weedman. I know Maiquel can knock Weedman down. I mean, there's a possibility Weedman left himself open again, but there's also the high possibility Weedman with his creative submission to submit him. So we will see.
Okay, next fight after that for the middleweight-tourney semifinal, we have Brian Rogers versus late replacement Andreas Spang.
Well, I'm gonna go for Brian because the good standout, the power, strong chin. I mean, the guy used a flying knee. That's very impressive.
And one thing I like about Brian Rogers, one thing that in a stylistic matchup here, it's actually a good style matchup. Andreas Spang does have pro kickboxing and boxing experience. He's fought in like Strikeforce and MFC. First time I saw him actually was a loss to Ali Mokhtar in MFC, but after that he redeemed himself and is coming off a 2-fight win streak. It does hurt that he is a late replacement. That's the thing. Stylistically, he might be the more crisp guy, striker. Brian Rogers, he has power in his hands, his knees, his feet, whatever. Beat Vitor Brianna with a highlight reel flying knee. This thing went viral on YouTube. Okay? And that's not his only flying knee victory. But besides flying knees, he has a really good chin. Watch the Slamenko fight. It took so many knees from Slamenko and his strikes to knock him down. And he was doing well against Slamenko as well. His takedown defense is improving, and his ground game is also improving as well. I don't think I kind of doubt the fight will hit the ground. I gotta go with Brian Rogers. I think he'll be a little more prepared. Obviously, Spang's taking the fight on short notice. It's hard to pick him to win this one.
Agree.
Okay, and finally, a fight I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Maiquel Falcao versus Vyacheslav Vasilevsky. You might just want to call him Cheslav.
My dear Cheslav will definitely win this fight. Well, actually, I can't say definitely win. This fight is very close, man.
This is a close fight. I'm going back and forth in this. Honestly, Vasilevsky, as a prospect and just as a fighter, really impressed me.
I think you should go with the Cheslav, dude. I mean, look, Cheslav, 16-1 record, 5 KO, TKO, 5 submission. The guy is definitely well-rounded. Very good technical boxing, some background, good footwork. I mean, 15 win, 55 winning streak. I mean, what do you want, dude?
The Falcao, man. The thing is, I'd honestly say Vasilevsky probably had the better showing in their last fights than Falcao, but you can't count out Falcao, man. He's got heavy hands, strong Muay Thai. Check out the leg kicks he did in his last fight. Awesome stuff. His wrestling, he was hitting clinch takedowns really well. Even against Gerald Harris, I think he took him down. He actually has some pretty strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and his chin is iron. The only problem is cardio.
I was gonna say that the cardio, the mental. I mean, is this guy really really ready? I mean, he has a mental problem.
One thing that's really odd about him, you saw it in going with the Gerald Harris fight in the UFC and Falco's last fight. It's kind of strange, but there's this weird thing where he kind of holds back, then he pushes the button, maybe hold back again. It's kind of like, I don't know if he's on or off sometimes, and that's kind of a problem. And he kind of comes off as a bit of a head case, to be perfectly honest. But sometimes you got to be the right type of crazy to get in a cage and fight another human being.
I understand that. I totally understand that. But I don't know, man. This is a close fight.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from Cheslav against Victor O'Donnell when he was on top. His ground and pound was nasty. And the stand up, he's just beating them up on the feet with more crisp boxing.
Exactly.
And his cardio looked pretty good considering how badly he beat up O'Donnell. He didn't look that bad in the third round considering how many punches he threw at the guy.
I'm telling you, man, he is punching back 24 hours straight, and he's still okay. This guy, good combination. Really, don't forget, this is a very solid guy here,
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking forward to that fight, man.
Me too.
Okay, on to the prelim card. We got a women's fight as El Tigre Anita Rodriguez fights Jessica Evil Eye. This female fighters with their
dude. I cool with that, but you're right. We got Monster, we got Slay, we got Evil Eye, we got Night Queen. It's awesome.
Yeah, El Tigre and Evil Eye. I got
Man.
Evil Eye. Who do you got?
Hey, I got Evil Eye. You. Okay, well, Evil Eye again. 6-1 records, 2 KO, TKO, 4 decision, 25 years old, 3-5 winning streak. Very good boxing.
Yeah, Anita Rodriguez actually has a boxing. I think she does some boxing as well. Her record has 3 submissions and 2 decisions. But Evil Eye, I mean, she's got a lot of momentum lately. I gotta go with Jessica Eye to win this one.
Me too.
Okay, next fight after that. Looking forward to some debuts here, actually, as Attila Vey fights Dan Spahn.
Televay, I mean, the guy has a 24-4-2 record. I mean, man, first Dan 6-1 record. It's big difference.
Yeah, Attila Vey, he beat another guy that's fighting here, Marcus Bentinen. 4-fight win streak. 9 wins by KO or TKO, 10 wins by sub. This guy, and he's only 26, so he has a lot of fights. He knows how to finish fights.
4-fight winning streak. I mean, definitely with a record, he's well-rounded. I don't know, man. I mean, I think he definitely has a high advantage to win this fight.
Yeah. I'm actually very interested to see what Attila Vey brings to Bellator.
Absolutely.
And even just being in the U.S. too. Spahn, though, he has a 6-1 record. He's coming off his only loss to Calvin Tiller, and he's only 27, so he's a good fighter. But Attila Vey, more experience, arguably more well-rounded. Gotta go with Vey to win this one.
Me too.
Okay, next right after that, John Hawk fights Marcus Bentinen.
Marcus, again, 21-3 records. So this is another big record. 6 KO, TKO, 11 submission. 24 years old, man. The only loss is our, Attila. That's it. That's it, dude.
It's Attila Vey, Rodney Wallace, and
I don't care the other two. I really care about Attila because, again, I'm picking on him.
Christian Mpumbu is Bellator light heavyweight champion.
Okay, but the thing is that you lose to a champion. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But again, no, I was just joking. The fact is, he only lose to very top fighter. You gotta say, Marcus here has a lot to bring on the table. I'm really looking for, as much as I want to looking for Attila, I want to watch the Marcus as well.
Yeah, same here. John Hawk, he's trading wins and losses. He's 32, 6-4 record. I'm just looking forward to see what Marcus Bentinen brings to Bellator as well. It should be very interesting, actually.
Absolutely. Next
fight. We have Frank Carabello versus Donnie Walker.
Top 5, I go for Frank and for record, 3 KO, TKO, 3 submission, 3 fighting win streak. I also like Donnie. I don't know. What do you think for Donnie?
I go with Donnie Walker. He has more fights here, 15-8. I mean, both of his losses, he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and both the losses are in the UFC. That's the thing. So he's a UFC veteran. He does have a pretty good submission game, even though he loses a lot by submission too.
How is his standing?
4 wins by KO or TKO. It's not the best. If I'm not mistaken, I forgot if it was him when I saw him fight in the UFC or his opponent. But when he threw jabs, his chin was straight up. It was kind of awkward, actually.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Frank will, he's well-rounded. Hopefully, he can take some advantage, staying out. I'm not too sure, but, his record's not bad. He looks pretty fresh. Hopefully, he can beat Donnie.
Okay. Next, right after that, we have Tyler Combs versus Jason Dent.
Oh, this is a tough one. I think Jason.
I'll go with Jason Dent. I always liked the guy, UFC veteran. But oddly enough, both these guys are coming off 3-fight losing streaks. The thing is, with Combs, 13-9-1 record. Win or lose, fight goes to finish. That's the thing. Out of his 9 losses, 7 of them are by submission. Jason Dent, though, out of 21 wins, 18 are by submission.
You're definitely looking at a submission guy here.
Yeah, I like Jason Dent's overall submission defense. I mean, I remember him getting armbarred by Sotiropoulos, but overall, from other fights I've seen, he's shown good submission defense.
I mean, again, another guy who loses by a very tough fighter as well.
Yeah, Daniel Strauss is one of the guys he's lost to, and Strauss is a Bellator featherweight finalist. Chris Lozano, he's a guy that's in the welterweight tourneys, and Sotiropoulos, of course.
No,
So he's only lost to really good guys, and actually Lozano's in 2 weight classes above where Jason Dent fights, or at least one. So yeah, I'll go with Jason Dent here, but it's a very interesting fight.
Definitely, especially Tyler gonna go all the way until he can do it anymore.
Okay, and finally, I don't know much about these guys, but we have Julian Lane versus Joe Heeland.
Joe Heeland?
I go Julian Lane. He's 3-0 undefeated. He's never been past the second round. He's still young, 24 years old. 1 TKO and 2 subs.
I mean,
I like what I see from that. Julian Lane, I guess.
I mean, Joe here, 6-1-1 regular, 3 KO, 3 decision, 30 years old. They train on the strong style fighting team. I mean, 6-1-1 regular, not bad. 3 KOs, so hopefully we can see some stand up.
Yep. So yeah.
Alright, recap time.
Recap. Got Eddie Alvarez versus Shinya Aoki.
Definitely, you and me believe a super fight, but I like I like my BJJ guy.
Like Aoki, I got Alvarez. Okay, Lloyd Woodard fights Rick Hawn.
Rick Hawn,
yep. Okay, Thiago Michel fights Brent Weedman. Okay, Thiago. Brian Rogers fights Andreas Spang.
Brian Rogers.
Yep, Brian Rogers there. Okay, Maiquel Falcao versus Vyacheslav Vasilevsky.
Oh, man. I'm not picking Falcao, man. This is a tough fight, but I'm not picking.
I'm picking Falcao. You got Vasilevsky.
Man.
Okay, on to the prelims. Jessica Ai fights Anita Rodriguez.
Evil Eye.
Evil Eye there. Okay, Attila Vey versus Dan Spahn.
Attila Vey,
yep. John Hawk fights Marcus Van Tinnen.
Gotta pick Marcus now.
Yep, Marcus Van Tinnen, yep. Okay, Frank Carabello fights Donnie Walker.
I pick Frank.
Okay, I got Donnie Walker. Okay, Tyler Combs fights Jason Dent. Jason Dent there, yep. And Joe Heelan fights Julian Lane.
I like Joe.
Okay, I'll go with Julian Lane. Okay.
Alright, very interesting fight. I mean, I can't wait to see it. It's so many fights I mentioned is very interesting to see. So hopefully it happens soon and let's watch it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our predictions for Bellator 66. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's pretty much it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.